The dark truth of being too aware. Since I was a kid, I was always aware, always checking my surroundings, always just looking out for myself. And maybe it comes from my childhood, maybe it comes from the stuff and experiences I've been through. But I think being too aware to a point where it just kind of is a negative. I think being too aware can be a negative into a point where you start to really instead of looking at people for who they are, you start to look at people for the bad they could do to you. And that's something I've lived with before. And I noticed when I'm too aware, I start to overthink as well as I start to look at the little things that people do. You start to kind of look at people's behavioral patterns, and if they don't do the same thing that they did yesterday, you start just signals in your head start to go off. And I don't know why this happens. I think a lot of it comes from just, and I'm just speaking for anybody out there. I think a lot of it might come from just childhood, might come from experiences you've been through. But at a certain point of being too aware, it starts to become a negative. I think being aware is a good thing, Of course, make sure people have your best interests, make sure people are loyal, make sure people aren't like. Shit behind your back. At a certain point, it begins to become a negative. And the reason why is because you start to look at people's behavioral patterns. And I think when we do this, we start to think about, instead of thinking about what the person is doing for us, we're always looking at what's the next thing they could do to fuck us over. What's the next thing they could do to ruin this or whatever it may be. And I think that the way to kind of go about it is, I noticed it's always about the future or maybe the past sometimes. But I noticed that when you're doing this, you're not really present in the moment. You're not present in like whatever you're doing with this person, whether it be a friend or a partner. You're never really present. And I've noticed that it's always something about the present that you're kind of looking out for, or something going into the future, as well as can dictate the future. That's what I've noticed about it. And I think the worst part about being too aware is you are truly never present, and you're always thinking about the next thing. You're always worrying, you're always stressing, and that's truly no way to live. People are gonna fuck you over, people are gonna leave, shit is going to happen. Not everyone is a loyal, trustworthy, good, quote unquote, good person. People fuck up, people do things for reasons you probably will never know. But that's the point of life. You learn who has your best interest and who doesn't, who sticks next to you and who doesn't. So I think being too aware, I think being too aware is one of the worst things we could do, because at the end of the day, people are going to show their true colors to you no matter what. It might not be intentionally, it might be on accident, it might slip up, whatever it may be. But always remember that the only person you truly need in this world is yourself. And the only person you need to worry about is yourself. Worry about you, what you got going on in life, whatever it may be. Because being too aware to a point where it starts to deteriorate your mind, your life, as well as just the people around you and what you think about them, is truly not worth it. It's no way to live.